Well, looky there. We're back. Day 28 got cut off by an outage. Apparently, we um, just didn't have any power, and now we do. Unfortunately, it was going to be during a very good paying job, so hopefully we'll be able to pick up that job again or someone like it, but it seems like the situation that was playing out at the time was going to be profitable, and hopefully this will be one we can just pick right back up. If we can't, then we'll see where it sits. I mean, I'm just kind of wondering right now how the game treats these sort of anomalies where people just drop offline or their internet gets cut down the road or something. Like fiber does get cut, people do stupid things in their yards and they cut the fiber. So I'm just kind of curious how that's going to play out. I wonder how that's going to work. But anyway, we are saving up for a C208, and I'm wondering if maybe the expensive insurance is not the right insurance to get. And I'm wondering if maybe we need to sell the airplane we have for a new airplane. Excuse me. A couple, maybe we can sell this one for a couple of, you know, Cessna Skyhawks and, you know, make money better, quicker that way. And just start buying up Skyhawks. I mean, why not? They're not terribly expensive, and we can keep running light cargo missions with them using AI while we do the more profitable, uh, missions with, personally profitable. If you fly personal missions, you can do those missions with, with your own personal plane. I'm wondering if that's probably the best way to go. What do you think? Because honestly, the AI is not making much money. It made, I think, the most is maybe 10,000, and that's mostly because insurance is really expensive. So what happens when you have a bunch of small planes with little or no insurance? Because AI is not going to crash the plane. They don't have those kinds of events in the AI. Flying little or no insurance is where we need to be. In any case, I'm going to start up the jam. And then we can get to it. Oh, look at that. We've already got, okay. Shakira. All right, I've posted the jam in the first pinned comment. Hopefully we can earn some money, maybe get some strategy going. Okay, well, it puts me here. Well, you know what? I want to go to the marketplace and see what is going on there, if anything's opened up. Marketplace. Nothing. My library. Nothing important. Everything is streamed. This community folder, that's disabled. Enable. Landmarks of Germany library only. Okay. What is this? Oh yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Yes. Yes. Look at that. G58. DV40. Cape Town. O'Hare. Awesome. Okay, that's great. Deluxe to premium upgrade. These are all. I have to restart the sim for those. That's so awesome. I didn't know. Okay, NeoFly. All this is NeoFly stuff. I don't want this bridge module. I don't need that SPAD bridge module because my license is expired. And uh, premium deluxe upgrade. I can enable this stuff. I didn't know. If you enable longitude, the following items will be in conflict. Cessna citation longitude. Oh, I see. Oh, I can't. I have conflicting items. Oh, okay. Okay, well, I can't imagine that. These are. I'm going to see what the consequences are. Vessels, I need to restart. Premium upgrade 2020. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, so we got the 2020 upgrade is what's going on here. Okay, so there's nothing special going on here. So it showed disable only, right? Showed disabled only, but these aren't disabled. Okay, we'll see what happens when we restart the sim, but for now we're just going to leave this back the way it is here. Back that up. We'll go to career. See what happens in here. All right. So let me look at my planes. I've got Stork Aviation. If I try to buy aircraft here, let's see what we got for used aircraft. 2,178,350. Or for 262,000, I can buy this one. Or buy this one. I would like to buy the cheapest one actually. Oh my god. In the name of love. Okay, so I could buy one aircraft if I buy brand new. I could have 1 million. I know that. If I sell my, that's 3 million. It's 815,000. Wheels, cargo radios. Your range is terrible. 395 nautical miles. Yeah. Carries a lot of cargo though. A lot more. 500,000 for a brand new Cessna. I've got the medium certification, so I can get the Caravan, but I don't have the multi-engine. But the Pilatus can carry, like I can fly the Pilatus right now, and I can carry, what's the basic insurance? But the Pilatus is expensive though, isn't it? What is this? What's the cost on this thing? 4 million. Yeah, I don't have that kind of cash. But boy, would I love to. This thing is a joy to fly. It really is. It's responsive. The 208 is too, but it's kind of herky-jerky. This Pilatus is gorgeous. Um, let's see. I can get the de Havilland. No, I can't. So if I sold one of these other jets that I have and fill Stork with as many Cessnas as possible, I stand to make quite a bit more money than just a single. I mean, with insurance costs the way they are, it's ridiculous. So if I go all companies, go goofball charters, and sell one of these. So let's manage this one and sell it. See what it's like. Oh geez. I could sell this one for 497. I wonder how much this would. Oh, 26,000. Let's go to details. Oh dang. These tires are cheap. So 497 tire pressure. Are you serious? It takes $1,100 to put tire pressure in. 1100, 497. That gives me two, so that's like an investment. Holy crap. Heck yeah. Okay. So if I get these tires in good shape, that gives me two. Yes. Okay. Heck yeah. Okay, so I can get 508 for this one. Add that to my 525. That's 1,033, 1,034, 1,034. Or not, it's 1,034,034. So with 1 million, how many of those Cessnas can I buy on my cargo company? My cargo company, buy aircraft, and buy use. I'm gonna have 1 million. I can purchase two, three, that's five. I can buy three Cessna 172s, all three of these. Yeah, I think that's a plan. All three of these. And the cheapest insurance. Heck, I could buy two of these right now. That's 5 million. That's a good 6 million. So that's 400,000. I'll just buy this one now. basic insurance. Next. And I'll just never fly this thing. And the cargo missions I'll fly is just... Heck, I'll just put him in Europe and fly cargo missions. Heck. Yay! We got a cargo plane in Stork Aviation now. I've got 85,000. I'll go back. I'll sell this jet because this jet is clearly not making me money. So I'll go back to companies. All companies. We'll go to Goofball Charters. Sell this one, right? Yes. Very good. Now I've got another 593. I'll go back to Stork. I'll buy more aircraft. Let's see what a brand new Cessna 172 is going to cost me. Ooh, 500. That's a brand new one. You know what? I think I'd rather buy these two used ones and fix them. That'll be cheaper, I do believe. And then once I get to my million mark, I'll start filling it. You know, I'm just going to fill it with cheap aircraft. Just keep filling it every 500,000. Just fill it with cheap aircraft. I'll have a fleet of 15 cheap ones with basically dirt cheap insurance. Okay, so we've got to maintain on both of these. This is 6 million or 600,000. Don't think I have that kind of. It's 136,000. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's also put him in Europa. And I wish I could just... I'm going to fly to Australia. I'm going to put him south down here in Borgo, whatever this is. Okay. Purchase. Now we've got 3 aircraft operating. Thank you. 331,000 remaining. I'm going to crew this one on as well. I'm going to maintain this one though. Oh shoot. 5,000 for delegated maintenance for this one? No. This is the one. Wait, crew, I'm going to crew on that one. Oops, back. I turned the crew off on that one. Crew on. Oh, that wasn't clear, was it? Okay, now I'm going to manage this thing. 136,000 to maintain this thing. I'm going to do that. Hydraulic and engine. Holy crap. I'm going to maintain that bad boy. There we go. I'm going to maintain this. Now, all is good. Let's see how that makes money. 2 more aircraft. I got 191,000. Let's just say... let's just say I go ahead and get goofball charters, and all I'll do is I'll fly the jets around and I'll buy jets when I can afford them. And whenever I get the new jet, I'll sell the jet, the old jet, for more. See, I don't even need to worry about crewing this thing, I don't think. I'll leave it so that when I'm offline, it'll crew it overnight. Okay, so the servers will, I'll show you the calculation here. Let's go to the servers. I'm at the central time, so I'll go calculate Zulu Central, and I think that's -5. Central Standard Time is 6, subtract 6 hours. So midnight minus 6 is 6 p.m. our time. So as long as I stop flying before 6 p.m., I'm good. It's 1 o'clock now, and I think that is a good plan. So I think I'm going to do a marathon flight. We're going to get in here. Let's manage this. We're not going to sell it. Everything's new and good. Now let's see what missions are available to me. Whoa, that's not where my aircraft is, though. Oh yeah, that's just showing me where my other aircraft are. This is where I am. So I've got some VIP missions. Oh my lord. What? Oh, oh, holy crap, I've got cargo missions. But they don't pay as much as VIP missions. See the difference? We were looking at 19,000 versus 67,000. Yeah, so, and I need an aircraft for the cargo missions. They won't let me fly cargo with my jet. Whatever. 49, 46, 37. Let's just pull up the board here and I'll filter by and I'll filter by. No, I can't filter, can I? Seriously? Alright. So these are all, the purple ones are private charges, and I'll just ignore the green ones. How about that? 66, 85. Holy crap. That is the largest payoff I've seen yet. I might be lying though. I might think I might have seen an 85 payoff or 95 payoff at one point, but I didn't get to take it because my sim crashed. So let's go ahead and see if we can choose this one. Where'd it go? 85, that's the one. That one's a good payoff. No aircraft available. Oh, that's because I gotta transfer the aircraft. Pattern entry. Oh, let's go take a look at that destination airport here. Thompsonville. There it is. 7Y2. Am I going to be landed in Canada? I love Canada. Oh, it's one of those goofy patterns. I really hate that. And I've learned I can't really change the flight pattern. Although I think I can go ahead and change on the fly. It won't mark me off. I just run the risk of it forcing me to do the actual pattern and then come around. So what this is going to do, if you're just tuning in and you're not really catching this or you don't know what this thing does, I'll come in from here, hit TRDP1, fly over the runway that I'm going to land on, do a loopy-doop, fly back over the runway I'm going to land on, and then enter the pattern here on the downwind. I don't understand why it does it this way. This, to my mind, has not been the way I was trained, but there's no ding in the sim for you just taking this route right here and just going straight into the downwind. So this is what I think I'm going to try to do. And if it, I've had a previous experience where it's gone, oh, well, it's, you know, you can't do that. You have to follow the pattern. Well, then I'll do that. But I think what you can do is just go straight into the downwind, hit the base, and go to final and land. And if that's the case, then that's what I'll do, if it lets me. But it looks like it's just straight and level uh, terrain. I mean, it's just basically regular old flat terrain, which is great. And I think I'll be able to survive the trip. So I'm going to accept this mission. Now my luck has been that I have not had very good results from these missions that are high paying. So I've got two folks that are flying with me here. I think maybe those two are there as well. But the chance of uh, oh, I didn't check my fuel though. I've got a a little cheat. I've bound a fuel refill to a certain key, so I'm going to do that if that's the case, if I need the fuel. Which I hope I don't, because I should have. Ah, there we go. Camera started moving around on me. Alright, here we go. I've got two people joining, and this very angry looking person. So, what's she, about 125 maybe? Looks like he's about 165. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get into my flight plan. I'm gonna file with ATC, and I'm gonna put it into my uh, avionics there. Right, just like that. My cruise altitude says it's 4,000, but I don't believe it. I think it's gonna bring me up to 8,000. I need to bring in my speed bugs. This will put my my rotate speed, which is 85, and my climb speed, which is 165. Oh, yes. Did I put IAS? Oh, that's not working. No, no. Okay, so I tried to program, just so you have context of all those weird comments. I tried to program my Bravo to use the IAS. Uh, I'm going to change my altitude, by the way, to 8,000. My IAS, which is my flight level control, I'm going to change to 4,000 first and see what it does. 38, 39, 4,000. There we go. Yeah. So when you're gaining altitude in this craft, the higher you go, the slower you go. And that's just, you can't climb nearly as fast. So you can climb it at 165, but once you get up to like 8,000 feet, 10,000 feet, your climb starts slowing down to about 125, and then when you get up to about 15, it starts slowing down to really drastically to about 100 knots, and it's, you know, or 100 feet per. I know your airspeed. This airspeed down here slows down to 100 knots. And it's even dipped, for me, it's even dipped below, like into the 90s on a climb if I use my vertical speed bug to do my climb. So I use my VS, or what's known as, not VS, but my alternate climb, which is my flight level control, to do my climb up to my suggested altitude, and it will keep my pitch at a level and my thrust at a level that will essentially give me ideal climb rate. It'll just keep me at my ideal climb rate. That's the purpose of setting this bug right here, because when I do the flight level control, it'll look at this bug and go, okay, well, I need to be at 165. Oops, I just toggled my engine off. No, I didn't. Okay, so it'll take this climb rate and it'll adjust the aircraft accordingly to keep this climb rate. or this climb speed, I should say, not climb rate, this climb speed, which will be the best climb rate for my altitude and my engine thrust, because this engine thrust goes down to 40 some percent over 15,000 feet. It's crazy. So, um, it is what it is. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. That's avionics, or not avionics, but the flight characteristics of this aircraft. So, I'm entering my initial fuel here. It's 192. That's good. So I don't need any more. My loading is going to be, I'm at a generous 205. Generous meaning that's generous for my actual weight. My co-pilot is a 0. My passenger left, which is directly behind me, is 115. She's a dainty little. And then her man is, I'd guess, about 175. Very fit fella. And their baggage, let's give them 75 pounds of baggage. Now, you'll notice that when I change this up here changed. This is the weight and balance graph. So if I wanted to, I could shift this to 175, and that shifts my weight and balance graph to make the airplane a little bit more balanced, but not really. So, let's go next. This is my route. There's no programmed altitude in here, so it'll just take standard traffic altitudes. I'm landing on runway 25. And I'll go home and I'll go to my map. It looks like my map has my, actually programmed this in here, this flight plan. And I'll go full screen so that my flight plan and my navigation is here. Looks like I'm going to be taking off over yonder. Oh, that's where I'm taking off, 25. Okay. My flaps are at 15%. My trim needs to be at 6. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to actually just make it 7 just to give myself a little more oomph off the runway here. There we go. And I think we're ready to go. We're going to announce taxi and get out of here.
Kilo Victor Yankee, Sierra Traffic November 73220 is taxiing to runway 25.
Hope you guys can hear that. It's not too faint. I don't want to turn up the... This engine is very loud. Can you tell? Very loud engine. So I don't want to make that too loud. Okay, we're going to release this. Release my brakes. Once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and skip to takeoff because I don't feel like... Well, let me see how close I am. Oh dear Lord, no. That thing's going to take us... It's going to be like going to the next state trying to take off, so I'm going to go ahead and skip to takeoff. I'm going to go ahead and announce takeoff.
Kilo Victor Yankee, Sierra Traffic November 73220
Oh,
is
look.
off runway 25
It
for
cleared my
takeoff.
altitude setting.
Ladies
I'm
and
going to
gentlemen,
reset my
welcome
altitude
on
setting.
board this flight to Weldon. I'm here to ensure you have an
I'm
enjoyable
going to go
flight
ahead and
ahead.
set it at
If you wish
4,000,
to
which is
remain
what
on
it
the
was
queue
set
for
at
any
on the
further,
flight plan.
please let me know. Please fasten your seatbelt if
But
you
I
are a
guarantee
member
it's
of
going
the
to go up to
Saitek
like
military.
8,000 or something.
You'll find a safety briefing card in the seat pocket in front of you. Prepare for takeoff.
I
Thank
think
you.
we're good. I'm going to clear this caution because it's just my parking brake. Just taking a quick look around, making sure I didn't forget anything. I'm going to go ahead and hit my nav. My flight director showing up. That's that purple thing you see right here. My vertical speed, my vertical navigation, and my flight level control I'm going to leave blank. I'm going to go ahead and hit my altitude select. Leave that on for now, and then I'll switch over to... I'm going to have to switch manually because my... Oh, it does switch. Shut up. Okay, cool. So when I go IAS... Oh, I switched it. Okay, so I did program this into my Bravo. This wasn't working previously. That's why I'm so excited. This flight level control bug wasn't working on my Bravo. FLC is the same as IAS, and if you don't know what that is, then it's basically just setting your indicated airspeed. It's giving your pilot or your autopilot indicated airspeed priority, which is kind of like if you know anything about photography, it's kind of like your shutter priority or your aperture priority on photography. It basically tunes your aircraft so that this is what's important while trying to get here. So it will climb you, but it will adjust the pitch of your aircraft to get here at this speed. The other difference is if you do like an altitude, like I'll just show you. So look, I switched this over from FCS or FLC to ALT. So when I do it this way, what's going to happen is I'll set my vertical speed. This is altitude hold. So if I set my vertical speed like this and I'll go up, 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 what it's going to do is it's going to put priority on my climb rate. Ir I'm going to say irregardless, that's not a word, but regardless of what my airspeed is, which is going to be here, and you know what my engine thrust is or anything else. It's just this is the priority. This is what we maintain, and it'll adjust trim to a crazy level, and that's where a lot of people are getting their crazy trim levels. They'll be like, oh, well, look at that. It's at 30 now anyway. So we're not going to do that. So we're going to go IIS priority, and it's not going to trim my. I'm glad I said that because my trim is crazy. Okay, so we're going to set IAS to, see here it is, 165. And this is our, uh, the altitude we're shooting for, which will probably get a different set of instructions once we get up in the air. It'll show up over here. So I'm going to pull my brake off and hopefully my trim will come down. There we go, that's better, much better. And we're going to get out of here. I haven't turned autopilot on, so it's not going to force me to do anything just yet. I'm going to wait till I get off the ground before I do that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I lost a little bit of control there. So it wants us to go all the way to the end of the runway, which I'm going to do. But I want to do that with a little time compression. Because... whoa, a little bit too much. There we go. I think we're ready to take off here. I'm going to go ahead and give it WEP or War Emergency Power. Oops, auto flight control or auto throttle control. Wait till it gets to 85 and rotate. There we go. Bring up my landing gear. Bring up my flippity flaps. Now I can hit nav, IAS, and autopilot. And supposedly, oh, it's only going to 1100 feet. Not so. 2100 feet. Okay. The autopilot is actually flying right now. How about that? I'm going to go ahead and skip, but I'm going to level off first. My nav is definitely not taking over though now. I think it's just a little bit too far off. I need to turn around. I'm a little bit higher than I should be. It said 2200 feet, right? My altitude needs to be 2200. So I'm going to line up with my nav here. I know it's over here, where I'm going is over there, but my nav is way over there, so I'm going to line up with my nav so my nav picks up. Ah, there we go. Now it's picking up. Once I get on course and nav is doing its thing, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try something new for those weird crashes that we get for these really expensive flights. And I'm going to try to, man, I don't know, turn off autopilot was my idea, and then do the skip to descent. And once we do that, if we crash, then I'm just going to throw my hands up and go, I don't know what the heck is causing these crashes. Everybody knows they're happening. Microsoft doesn't seem to want to acknowledge them, but I mean, it is what it is. It's definitely happening, and it's not just me, it's a lot of people. And I have a pretty average set of equipment anyway. It's not really cutting edge or whatever. So it looks like I'm on course, and I'm going at cruise speed, so I'm just going to skip to descent. Hopefully, everybody cross their fingers. Hopefully it won't crash me. Oh, look at that. It didn't crash me. How about that? I'm going to go to about half throttle just to keep myself safe. I'm at 10 nautical miles to final, so
Traffic November 7
I'm
tree
going slow enough I
220
can
is
lower
0
my
miles southwest 4000 for inbound to land runway 27.
my landing gear. I'm on autopilot. I'm going to go ahead and hit nav. And we're going to maintain this altitude, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick update. Thompsonville has granted us permission to land.
Looks like it's bad weather, so
Please
we're going to get a bad
contact
weather
your message
bonus.
as we start our descent.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
I can see the airport, ostensibly. I think it's um, right there from left to right. And we're out landing in the opposite direction. Oh, I think it's this way. So if we enter the pattern here, let's just do altitude hold mode, and we're gonna let the autopilot take over for a second. So if we zoom in here, we can't move this. Ah, I want to move this. Let's go ahead and get our flight bag out. So this is our destination airport, yes. Arrivals, approaches. We're gonna land at runway 27, which means we are gonna be landing this way, completely opposite to where we are, essentially. So there's the... Oh, it's just a little airport, isn't it? Oh, great. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce my speed. See if I can just head into the downwind. I'm going to give myself my first set of flaps here and just sort of yaw a little bit and see if I can see this airport. Looks good. Maybe scoot a little bit over here to the right. If they had fixed this looking thing, I could probably look around a little better. I'm just going to lose some altitude here. I'm going to take my autopilot off. Bring my trim down from stinking 30 something. Good gracious. This feels about right. Looks like I'm following the plan a little bit. But man, I need to lose altitude in a big way. I'm in idle right now, by the way, so I'm gonna drop my flaps a little bit more so as to give myself a little more um, drag. I'm a little bit longer. That just ignore that final pin. Yeah, see it moves. And see if I can bring this trim down for Pete's sake. Ugh. Airspeed's 100, and I'm gonna do just a beautiful little turn here and turn toward final. I'm almost lined up.
Sink rate. Sink rate.
Look,
Pull up. Pull
don't,
up.
do not yell at
Pull
me.
up. Pull up.
I don't like it when my airplane yells at me. Yay, I'm gonna announce final now.
500.
Okay, now if you notice my stall speed, where it's yellow on my doodad right there,
Samsung EVO traffic November 73220 is on final runway 27 to land.
my stall speed is in the red. So I just need to hug that stall speed as I come down. Oh, I am not lined up. Alright, I'm at idle now. Golly, the turbulence. Oh, I've got good left turbulence. Differential braking is your friend. Alright, good deal. Looks like we landed. How about that? Woo! It wants me to stop at hold short, and I don't see hold short in front of me, so you know what that means. It's behind me. This is actually kind of slippery. It's weird. It feels slippery to me. Yep, hold short's behind me. I'm gonna flip around. These aircraft can turn on a dime, by the way. This is gonna be a good flight. Excuse me. See my landing right there? Actually, that was a pretty darn good landing. I'm curious as to how it's going to score me, though, because it really isn't consistent. Alright, so... Here we go. Skirt! Stop it, hold short. I'm going to announce my taxi to parking, and I think I'm just going to go do
Saitek
it.
traffic November 73220 is taxiing to
So,
parking.
because it looks like, honestly, it's so close, I won't even need to worry about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Thompsonville. Local time is 1:14 p.m. For your safety, the captain has requested that you
I
remain
always talk
seated
about
and
myself
seatbelt
in the first
fastened until we
person,
come to a
or the third
standstill and
person,
the
I should
seatbelt
say.
sign is turned off.
The
Make
captain
sure you
has,
keep all belongings with you when you
requested
land.
that you remain
On
seated.
behalf of the entire company, we would like to thank you for choosing first class wings. We look forward to seeing you again and wish you a pleasant stay in Weldon.
Here's the fuel station.
I'm really in a hurry. When do we get off? Good thing this flight went smoothly.
Alright, now all we do is shut the engine down and we're good. This takes forever. if you've never been in a jet like this. So I'm just gonna speed up the simulation rate, and now we quit. Yeehaw. It would have taken a lot longer, trust me. 57. Why is the passenger satisfaction so low? Anyway, S tier land or S tier trip, that's good. Passenger satisfaction is ridiculous. I really feel good about that one. Let's see how much we got paid. 130, not bad. It's good, good. All right, good deal. So I've got 318,000 now. Let's see what it's going to take to purchase this last aircraft. And is this company crew on? Very good. Used aircraft. 356. So one more flight and I'll be able to purchase that one. And then I'll just start in with purchasing all of the additional aircraft. Let me maintain this thing. Let's see what it looks like to technician to maintain. Everything looks good, but why does it say to maintain? No. Hmm. Details. It's probably one of these vital components that looks. These are all not vital. I'm going to test that. General, maintain. Oops, cancel. General. I can't do details. No. Landing gear. No, I did that already. Electrical details. Vital. Yes. Vital. Yes. It's the only two vitals, and it looks like they're both above 50%. So let's go to fuel details. This one isn't, and it is a vital. We'll maintain that. Doesn't change. Interesting. Okay. This one, we'll do that one too. Okay. Flight controls. Let's see what this one looks like. Vital, yes. Maintain, yes. Maintain, yes. Ah, that's what it is. Okay, so yeah, so my philosophy looks like it's paid off. I'm maintaining the vital controls or vital components that are below 50%. So those don't get too crazy. I'm going to maintain that one. I'm going to maintain this one. Okay, so I might need two more flights in order to get to. I mean, I might as well do this one, right? Everything else is done. I'm going to maintain that as well. Yeah, everything's good. That's not vital, but let's maintain that anyway. Let's maintain this one too. Might as well. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna need two flights to get to the next one. That flight actually went surprisingly well. Let's just manage this one just in case. There it is, details. So tires and tire pressure are stinking cheap, and so are those, but these are really cheap. And I'm sort of OCD. I don't really like anything below 50% anyway. But especially with vital components, any of these that say yes, I really don't like those. Landing gear, really? Let's see if we can change that. Does it still say to maintain? No, it doesn't. Okay. Okay, so fair enough. All right, so the goal is to get a couple more flights in so that we can buy this last used aircraft, which is, I can't, what? What just happened? Which is 356. No, just one more flight. So I'll get one more flight in. I'll get this aircraft at 356, and then just keep cycling through flights until I can afford to get one of these used Cessnas. Then I'll have three Cessna 172s in circulation for AI, and then eventually I'll get 2OBs, 208B for me to play around with. Or I might just get a Pilatus because those Pilatuses are so sexy. And they're only available as brand new. So they're like 4 million. Yeah, this is that Pilatus PC-12. This thing is 5 million. So when I build up 5 million, I'll start flying this Pilatus. And I think you can fly the Pilatus uh, medium cargo missions and make a million a pop for every single flight. So that's what the goal is, to make a million. And maybe the Cessnas, I don't know. Uh, yeah, and if it takes it, I'll just keep doing the Cessna 172s on those cargo, in the cargo uh, missions. Let's see what my missions look like now. Alright, so we just finished a really good mission where we made over 100k, 129k, doing a, good gracious, I thought that was locked. I was like, no way, not this bug. Okay, so we're in the US. I'm gonna zoom in on the East Coast because I'm thinking the bigger money's over here. Some folks are telling me, oh no, you do big money over here. But I haven't, that hasn't been my experience for some reason. I'm sure that's their experience, but big money hasn't shown up for me really. Um, so all these cargo transport lights are showing up here because I have these two aircraft over here. And I can't do these VIP missions just simply because these are just Cessna 172s over here. I guess I could, but I'm not interested. The East Coast has really been paying off a lot better than really anything else. So this is 46. See, these are all just little money. Okay, 72 is not bad. So 72 is going to Big Bear, but I would have to transport this jet all the way over here, and that's going to be, what does that cost? I'm guessing 5,000? Oh, 20,000 almost. And that's not worth the squeeze. The juice ain't worth the squeeze, as they say. I could get a 50k mission over here and make more money, but I don't think I'm going to get a 50k mission. I'm going to go ahead and let this zoom out. I'm surprised there's no VIP missions in Miami or something. Anywho, I'm going to go ahead and I'm zoom in right there. See what my missions look like. So there's one that's 66. Thought I saw one for 70 something. There it is. Monroe. And you have to say it like that. You can't say Monroe. You have to say Monroe. Oh, here's one that's 74. And that seems like a fairly short flight. If I was going to fly to Monroe, that'd be, I think that's Louisiana. Louisiana. Okay, let's see what this looks like, because it looks like I'm going to have to land in the mountains. Okay, so destination airport is at 2,000 feet, so that's not terrible. Let's see what the departures and arrivals, FAA, aeroport. The FAA maps are just crazy. Make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. Oh, by the way, the top pinned comment has the Spotify Jam link. Click on it, you'll get some good background music instead of the ridiculous. Oh, I can zoom into this. Okay. This is Y70 or 7Y2. That's where I landed just now. Aha, so my... There we go. So I'm going to land over here. I think I've landed here before. TRDP1, P88. This sounds familiar. PA88. That sounds really familiar, but this is an asphalt, kind of a narrow strip it looks like, but still manageable. At least it's not grass. I have been asked to land on grass strips before. Highly annoying with a jet, but thankfully this jet can kind of handle it. Yeah, this is okay. So it's asking us to come in this direction, fly over the airport, do the loop-de-loop, fly back over the airport, and then join. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to turn and join on the downwind and then come around. I see this. I know what this is doing. This is like, okay, get your bearings by flying over the airport. And then, yeah, but really, if you got your eyes open and you see the airport, there's no reason why you can't just join the downwind leg here. It just makes sense. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and accept this mission with a $10,000 transfer cost. Sheesh, that's expensive. Now, I can't forget to do maintenance, which means I'm going to wash it. Wash it before you use it. It's a good rule. We're going to wash it right there. And then we're going to check our fuel. It looks a little light. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up to 120. What happened? What does it do when you go overweight? Oh, what does it? Oh, it doesn't tell you anything. If I let go there, what does it tell me? It doesn't. That's weird. That's no worries. I'm just going to bring it down to 120. And I think our required fuel for this flight is indicated here, so we'll refuel to there and that'll be good. One flight I didn't refuel and I almost ran out of fuel. And it was in a terrible airport too. And then the simulator was not cooperating with me. It was even just, what was it doing? It was kept directing me around. So we're going to skip this. It just kept me directing me around to different places. Darn tootin' you can count on me. Darn tootin'. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and announce taxi. I want to know where the parking brake is on the control panel. Where is it? Oh, look at that. Right Alt P. Pause test. Okay. Alright, so we're going to set our speed bugs today. We're going to set our rotate speed, which is 85. We're also going to set our climb speed, which is 165. Excuse me. We're going to go back home. This fuel quantity miscompare, it just means I haven't set my fuel quantity. I don't know why it feels like it has to do that, because really all I'm doing is click this button, click that button. And that's literally all it takes. Why couldn't it do that automatically in the day of, I guess, in the day of cell phones and quick switches, things that just happen automatically. You'd think we could figure that out. Okay, so pilot weight is a very generous 205, and the reason for doing this is because it sets our weight. It also sets our climb ratios. So if I do a shift 2 here, you'll see that the uh, the this bar indicates our balance. And so this is our current balance, and this is where, as our fuel gets consumed, and then you'll see it says fuel burn here with the line. This line indicates, excuse me, where this indicator is going to go as we lose fuel during the flight. So that's what all this is for. So we're going to go to shift 3, and we're going to set my weight at a very gracious 205. The co-pilot, which, if I remember, yeah, it doesn't exist. And then I think we have, hi, hello there. We have 3 passengers. Let's just study them. Okay, she looks like a pretty heavy 145, 135 probably. The guy in the back looks like a 160, and this guy in the front looks like a 175. So co-pilot is 0. Passenger left is going to be behind me, so that's my 135. Enter. Passenger right is 175. Enter. And that guy on the back, I'm just going to call him a co-pilot, and we're just going to say he is 150, and we'll give him 100 pounds of baggage. There we go. Oh, and it looks like it's shifted all of our weights and measurements are um, to sort of center mass, which is great. We're a little bit over this dotted line, but I'm not too concerned about that. I think we'll be fine. Inside the box, you're good. You're getting a little overweight when you start getting over this dotted line, but we have less fuel. We're not completely full on our fuel right now, so we are good. Here's our fuel. This is going to set our takeoff and rotate speeds and all that stuff, so uh, looks like 1361 feet per nautical mile is our best climb gradient. I'm going to go ahead and set my altitude, and I think it's going to kill this, but I'm going to go ahead and set it to 45 just as a guess, and we'll see how that goes. I'm back up here at normal looky-see there, and I think I'm just going to skip to takeoff, so I'll take that off, and it's going to ask me to go to the, oh, that's not terrible. Okay, you know what, I'll just go down the runway, or the taxiway, I should say. Oh, you know what, I want to change this. Next. This is my flight plan, but I don't need it there. I'll click next, next, because my flight plan is right here below my map. And then I'll do full screen. So my flight plan will be down here and my nav will be here just above it. That is a quick program in the system that you can set up. Otherwise it'll show you that airplane and load and balance nonsense for the entire flight. So I'm going to go ahead and just get on out of here. Welcome passengers.
Passengers, good morning, and welcome aboard this first-class wings flight to Wharton. I'm your captain and pilot today.
I have a
It's
very effeminate
approximately
voice when I fly.
6:30
It's,
a.m.
because of
Eastern Standard
nervousness.
Time for departure waiting for
I'm
takeoff
just
and landing.
nervous.
I'll keep you informed during the flight if anything important comes up. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't want to go over 20. And what I'm watching here is, you'll see here where it says ground speed. I just don't want to go over 20. Differential braking to steer a little bit. That's what I'm doing right there. And I'll stop here on Z-Box. Now it's going to say, hey, you need to check in. I'm going to announce my takeoff. I'm going to announce again to my very lovely passengers. And as I'm announcing to the passengers, I'll just get around to here.
all passengers, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of First Class Wings, I would like to welcome you on board Flight GCO 5810 bound for Wharton. Estimated flight time to Wharton is 38 minutes. To prepare for takeoff, please ensure your seatbelt is fastened tightly. Your seat is in the upright
Whoa,
position,
I should have
and your
turned a little
drinking
bit
water
sharper
is
right there.
securely stored. Thank you.
All right, here we
Get
go.
ready for a wonderful flight.
More emergency power. Uh-oh, my trim's not set right. Get that up to about 6, probably. 7 is good. Or 8 is good. 85 and I'll rotate. Rotate, and I'm off the ground. Oh, 7,000. That's a terrible guess. 4,000 was a terrible guess. So let's go up to 7,000. I'm going to lift up this. I'm going to bring up my flips. I'm going to get my contact. All right. One more tick. Oops, I went a little bit too far. I'm going to set my nav. I'm going to set my IAS, and I'm going to hit autopilot. And the autopilot is now in control. Now, you'll notice I'm veering off of the brackets. That's because my flight plan says I'm not going that way. This is my flight plan. So this is where autopilot is going to take me. Autopilot's going to go here to the flight plan and then go this way. And you can see that here. If you look at this line, when they line up, I'll be on course according to the flight plan. I like seeing a little bit more here. It's probably going to ding me for having to get it contacted again. So what I'm doing here, if you'll notice, my flight bug, when I set my flight speeds, this is my 165 ideal climb speed. It's maintaining my ideal climb speed right here. And that's because I set my flight bugs, my speed bugs here. Ideal climb 165. And I have also set on my autopilot down here my flight level control. Oh, sorry, yeah, I'd copy. I'm too busy talking. Don't yell at me. So now it's got flight level control turned on. My altitude setting is 7,000. I'm going at 165 knots setting. That matches. My yaw damper's on. And it looks like I'm 1,000 feet from where I want to be. I'm going to accept my instructions. Okay. 255. There's a whole lot of contact this and contact that, isn't there? Okay. I'm going to wait for all of this radio contacting and talking nice to each other and everything um, to finish, and then I'll go ahead and skip. So I'm going to inform passengers we're on cruise. I'm also going to think that might be the last. I believe it is the last. looks like we're done. Good deal. Okay, y'all cross your fingers, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip. Here's another thing I'm gonna try. I'm gonna pause this before I skip. Please don't crash me. Okay, I'm paused. I'm not crashed. My airspeed is 51. Why? Why is it doing that? Okay, so this has got me to descent. I'm gonna unpause. My throttle's still high. I haven't changed my throttle at all. So I think I'm gonna do auto throttle. Actually, it's on. I'm gonna leave it on. And we're gonna unpause. It didn't crash me, so I don't think it will.
Going to 124. 4220.
Okay, so I'm 15 nautical miles from final. So what I want to do is lower my gear.
Is passing 7,400 feet descending
I don't want to
southwest.
do my flaps yet. Yep, so my altimeter is 3033.
Cleveland Center 220. Cancel IFR at this time.
I'm going to bring up this final pattern again. So I'm going to come from this direction. There's my airport in front of me. I'm just going to make a right turn into the pattern. I'm not going to do the loop-de-loop. I'm a little more than 12 miles away from nautical or from
Hawaiian
final,
98 traffic November
but I'm close enough to announce
7220
my
14
position.
miles east 7000 for inbound to land runway 23.
So here's my altimeter here, by the way. 3033, remember that? I'm still at 7,000 feet. Let's look at the details here. At 2,000 feet is death, so I don't want to go below that. But I do want to come down to about 3,000. Let's just call it 3,000. There we go. I'm going to do vertical speed, and I just really want to change this, my vertical speed to 300 and put on autopilot and nav, and there we go. So now I'm going to go down at a leisurely 500. I don't think we need to rush. Our speed right now is 164, 165. I'm just going to go ahead and turn on indicated airspeed. No, I'm just going to go vertical speed. So 1,000 is fine. Let's do that. Okay. My airspeed's 178. I don't want to go too fast, so I'm going to reduce my thrust. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. Makes you want to be a pilot, doesn't it? It looks like that airport's in a valley a little bit, so I'm going to bring my altitude up by about 500. Let's go 700 feet. And I don't know what nav is doing to me. It wants to go. Like my flight director is pointing to the right, but my airplane's going to the left. It's a little awkward, actually. I like my airspeed where it is. Let's go ahead and increase our sim rate because I don't want to hang in the air too long. There we go. We're getting mighty close to those hills, so I'm just going to turn off my autopilot, maintain my altitude at 4,000 until we get closer. This looks like it's down in the valley a little bit. This is my final right here, and my airport's over here somewhere, it looks like. One of these days, I'm just going to turn off these brackets, find my airport, but I'm just not that good yet. I think I can see the airport right here, though. Right there. Remember, it's a long black strip. That's the best kind. Okay, so let's reduce our altitude a little bit more. This appears to be right here, the base leg. Yeah, that's the airstrip right there. You see that? My airspeed's a little bit higher than I want it to be. Once I get to about 145, I'll hit my first set of flaps. I'm at idle right now. I don't know why she keeps yelling at me like that. I need to sync anyway. I'm at 127 right now. I am intentionally flying a little bit to the right. I want to give myself just a tiny bit longer. I need to really yank this around, but I don't want to startle my passengers. There we go. My airspeed's a little bit too much, but I think I'm good with that. My trim needs to come up though a little bit.
88 traffic November 7 tree 220 is on final runway 2 tree to land.
There we go. Whee. Come on, don't knock me around now. Where's that windsock? Going to idle. Trying not to hit the ground just yet. Just whenever, you feel like it. Alright, good deal. That's a decent landing. Of course, no matter how good the landing is, I had a butter landing the last flight, and the passenger said that the flight was at about a 56% satisfaction, which is really awkward. I mean, I looked at them with a little side eye. I hope they didn't notice. There's my hold short. Those of you just joining, I hope you are watching or listening to the jam. I'll give you a little background music when there's pauses and I'm not droning on.
To all passengers, welcome to Nemacolin. Local time is 9:49 a.m. For your safety, the captain has requested that you remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until we come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Please make sure you take all your belongings with you when you get off. On behalf of the entire company, we would like to thank you for choosing first class wings. We look forward to seeing you again and wish you a pleasant stay in Wharton.
Alright, so the parking stand is way over there. It's not too bad though. I've seen a lot further. a lot further distances. So if you're curious about what I'm looking at for my ground speed, it's this GS or GR button right here. It's 15 knots, so we're good. Don't go over 20 though. There we go.
Time flies. I even wrapped up my work. Will totally recommend this company.
That sounds good. Now I'll increase my sim rate, and we will shut off. See what the score looks like. Got to increase that sim rate at the end. It is really difficult for whatever reason. Oh, 80%, not bad. Really difficult for this jet to shut down for some reason. It just takes forever. S tier, yes. Fantastic, man. I'm happy with that. 121,000 XP. Not bad. Got 117,000 off of that. Looks like I got a no skip bonus, got a bad weather bonus. That's pretty awesome. Got a jump in my reputation, which way used to be way up here for some reason. Well, okay, I can tell you not for some reason, but for very specific reasons, it got smashed back down to alpha, even Bravo at one point, just because of the bugs in the application. Up to level 50. Great. Now I qualify for some other stuff. Let's go into specializations and see what it is. 30. I haven't got the scoop endorsement. There was something else that I needed 50 for. What was that? Oh, this is it. Jet airline transport. I don't think I'm very interested in it, except maybe this Saab. Uh, I'm I'm just more of a runner and gunner. Oh, this one might be fun to fly. Turboprop airline transport pilot rating. Is that a rating? Yeah, so I mean, I suppose there's only like 5 more things that I haven't qualified for yet. All right, let's go back to the company. Here's airline transport, which will need a multi-engine rating. I don't think I would mind getting a multi-engine rating. I think that might be a good thing to do. But the rest of these, like turboprop airline transport pilot, airline transport pilot, and jet airline and heavy airliner, these things really are not of interest to me. I might want to get the night currency just because flying at night is so beautiful. And then rotorcraft is too expensive. These rotorcraft are just expensive. Yeah, multi-engine I think is going to be on my next goal, and night currency right after that. Okay. See what my missions are now. Those look new. 39, 55. Here's 72. That's this one. 37. That one says it's not recommended for some reason. These ones with the dots are the ones that are kind of at risk. I think this one's going to be a good one to do though. 72 is a good amount of cashola. Transport cost is low, and I can fly over to another 70,000 mission over there. Yeah, let's do the transfer. Let's maintain this thing. Looks like technician says everything's good. Wash it before you use it. Get my fuel. I'm going to take that up to 120 because I'm OCD about that. Go back. Let's check out what we're going to be doing because I didn't check it out before I accepted it. So we're leaving from whatever this says, Municipal Airport. Well, there's 6 knots from 200, which is runway 17. That's pretty okay. And then we'll go to this Napanee, and then we'll look at the weather there. No weather available. Looks like it's probably going to be a small airport. Let's see what it's looking like. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, it's asphalt. Not bad. It is still narrow, but that's not terrible. I mean, I've landed at worse airports. Lots worse. Sounds like we need to just get in there and get it done. If you're curious about any plugins or anything I'm using, I'm not. There are no plugins. Everything is straight out of the box for Microsoft Flight Sim, and I seem to be doing okay. Although I would not mind having that one plugin that makes all of um, your control tower language have it all sound really, really good. Sounds natural, and it will correct you if you try to check in a different way than standard. Whoa, 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 whoa! What's going on here? Okay. Okay, so if you look over here, the the MFD is going to show us some stuff. This shows us our fuel here, which is always good to check. Once the PFD pops up, it'll show us some more stuff like our speed bugs. I'm going to go ahead and plug my speed bugs in here. 85 is our rotate speed. 165 is our ideal climb speed. I'm going to go ahead and plug in and click home here. Go ahead and plug in our weights. Our aircraft is loading 205 is my very rose-colored glasses. Okay, looks like I've got a co-pilot. Hello. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. What's your name? Oh, I need to take these tags out of here. Uh, let's go shift 2 and turn around. Believe it or not, you can still turn around. Okay, so I've got 3 passengers. I'm gonna guess she's about 115, 125. Let's say 125. This one's about, excuse me, 170. So we'll go back shift 1. Shift 3 will take us here. So my co-pilot 115. Enter. Passenger left. What did I say? 130. And then passenger rear is 175. Or maybe 180. Let's just say they brought 75 pounds of luggage with them. Enter. Enter. And let's get our fuel in here. There we go. Notice this changed and it's showing us our weight and our balance here. And this is more of the same of what I just did. Go back home, change my map so that it shows my nav. This also shows me my climb gradient, 1383 feet per nautical mile, so that's my ideal climb rate, given the weight that I have on board. So it automatically calculates all that. I'm going to change this over because I don't really care to see that all during the flight to full. I did program my flight plan to show up down here. That's over in, I think it's, if you're interested in doing it yourself, It's in your MFD. Oops, it's in your MFD here. Oh, there's my parking brake. I was looking for that earlier. Is that my button for my parking brake, or do I have to? I don't know. So it's in here, I think under aircraft systems, or maybe it's utilities. Utilities, setup, avionics, MFD. These are all the fields that go up here. So I've got my ground speed here, my DTK, 272 degrees, my desired track, my actual track, my en route to final destination, um, my bearing, my distance to my next waypoint, my ETA for my time of arrival, my ETA for my final destination landing. These are actual times. This is a countdown. My system though, let's say units, alerts, audio. Let's go back. I don't think this is where I wanted to be. So if you want to set your maybe it's not, maybe it's aircraft systems. No, that's actually aircraft systems. Yep, to be honest with you, I don't know exactly how I got this up here. That's my PFT, this is my MFT, this is my navcom. This is my navcom here. It wasn't under procedures, unless I just do flight plan, and then do flight plan options, and then show on map. Map settings, inset window, that's what it is. Right there, so it's under flight plan, so you click on flight plan, you go to flight plan options, you click on map settings, you go to inset window, and you click on flight plan text, and that makes it show down here. Okay, let's go home. So everything's set up the way we want it. And then we can get out of here. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and announce taxi, talk to my passengers, and I think we might want to skip because this looks like a long taxi. I'm going to have to go around buildings and stuff. So we're going to avoid all that. I'm going to release my parking brake. I'm going to go ahead and roll a little bit. It's going to tell me that I can talk to my passengers when I do that. I don't want to skip that per se. There we go. I'm going to welcome the passengers and then I'll skip to takeoff. Don't get too close to buildings, by the way. It will crash you. Other vehicles it won't, but buildings it will.
We expect an on-time departure, and we're currently ready for takeoff. I will keep you informed of any key updates as we go through the
Once I
flight.
get done
Thank
yapping,
you.
I can skip to takeoff. There we go. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and announce takeoff.
Kilo Papa Juliet Charlie Traffic November 73220 taking off runway 17 west departure.
I don't know if it's going to make me go to the end, though. Is it? I don't think so, because I'm on the apron right now.
Good afternoon to all passengers. This is your captain speaking. On behalf of First Class Wings, I would like to welcome you on board flight GCO 1713 bound for Napanee. Estimated flight time to Napanee is 51 minutes. To prepare for takeoff, please ensure your seat belt is fastened tightly, your seat is in the upright position, and your tray table is securely stored. Thank you, and get ready for a wonderful flight.
Alright, so once I get turned around, I'll set my IAS. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and give myself some altitude here. I'm going to go ahead and set my IAS, which in this aircraft is not called IAS, it's called Flight Level Control, FLC. And I'm just going to go ahead and take off. My trim is at a crazy 30%, so I'm going to bring that down a little bit to about 7 or 8 for Pete's sake. While I do that, I'm just going to bring my throttle up. Relatively short runway, so I'm going to bring my thrust all the way up. There's my 8% trim. And I'll rotate once I get to 85. I don't know why it's pulling me to the right, but okay. I guess I got some wind on this particular flight. 85, there we go, we're taking off. Climb to 5,000. See, I'm glad I set my altitude. I'm gonna bring up my landing gear. I'm gonna bring up my flaps. I'm gonna contact my new control tower.
Approach November 73220 is type 1 mile south of Kilo Papa Juliet Charlie 1000
Once I turn
feet.
into the wind, all of this
Request flight time.
turbulence should sort of level itself out. My IAS is looking pretty good right now. I don't know where these brackets are taking me.
Squawk 65, tree
That is
6220.
not what I would have chosen to do.
Roger 220.
I'm requesting IFR
November
clearance now.
73220, 2 miles
There's the
south
airport
of
I just
Kilo
took off
Juliet
from.
Charlie
Right
3500.
there.
Request IFR to Charlie 0, tree ready to copy.
Notice this little tick right here. This is a little bit larger, bolded. That's where the passengers start going, "Oh, you're going crazy."
Cleared to Charlie 0, tree ready
So
to cross mild.
you don't want to get past that.
656.
Honestly, really, a 20-degree turn is probably about as much as you want to do anyway, but I'm doing
November
30-degree turns
73220,
just
maintain
because
all navigation climb.
I can,
Maintain 5,000 feet,
and
220.
they're just gonna have to live with it. Okay, so I'm gonna turn on nav and IIS. It's telling me to reach 5,000 feet, which I'm damn near there anyway.
134. 475 for 220.
Okay, so I'm a little bit off course.
Cleveland Center, November 7, tree 220, 5,000 feet.
I'm gonna do altitude hold and turn on autopilot. What it's gonna do is it's gonna hold my altitude and then get me over to my nav course that I've got over here.
To all
Uh,
passengers glad to be your captain
Notice that
again.
this
First
bar is a
class
little bit
wings
off. I
are
just need to line
ready
these
on
two bars
first
up, and
class
that's what the
wings on
airplane's
flight
doing for me.
GCO 1713. We are
Just
currently
to get
cruising
back on
at an
course.
altitude of
I was just a little
4,590
bit off
meters
course
in
after
French
taking off,
altitudes. It's 12:45
and it's just
p.m.
gonna take
and
me
we're
down my
set to
course.
land in Napanee,
I'm gonna
Alaska
wait for
at
this
3
yappity
p.m.
yap to
local
stop,
time.
and then
Current
I'm gonna
temperature
go ahead and
30
skip.
degrees Fahrenheit. If the weather cooperates, we should get a great view of the area as we descend. I'll update you before we reach our destination. Until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight.
Okay. I have not yet crashed if I hit pause before I skip, so I'm gonna do that now. So hopefully I won't crash. Here we are. We are not crashing. Okay, I want to leave nav on. My altitude is about right. I've got a warning. I've got a stall warning because my speed is 61. I don't know, do not know why it brings my speed to 61. Let's just say that. Now this says descent, but it looks like my next waypoint is at 7262. I don't think I'm going to descend yet. I've got 72 nautical miles, so I need to probably go another 50, 60 miles before I even think about descending because I'm only at 5,000 feet. So it's not like I'm way up in 16 to 20 to 28,000 feet. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take pause off because I've never crashed yet. By the grace of God, hopefully. I've never crashed um, on pause. So let's just say that might work.
128 625 220. Cleveland Center, November 7, tree 220, 5000
I don't know why it's bringing me to descent way out here. This is not anywhere close to descent. So what we'll do once we get all this radio traffic done, we'll skip by doing our, oh, you know what it's doing? It doesn't have an altitude heading to go by, so we'll just bring this up to 5,000 and let it do its thing. Off, on again. There we go. Now we've got altitude hold. It's bringing us back to nav, and it's going to level out. I think we're good. Now just do some time compression. There we go. I did. I did. Just going to speed up. It's going to ding me for that probably. Still at 5,000. Still looking good. Feel like I'm in a roller coaster. Whee! Seriously? My limits are 245. Uh, I'm at the correct altitude, and what? What is it gonna do for me? 245 is my limit. I don't know what it's thinking it's doing. Okay, so I've got limits. So this limit is set at 245, which is a Mach point 0.3, I think, is what it is. Yeah. So I'm not sure why I went over speed, but okay. That's, it is what it is. Nothing you can do about it. Once I get close, about 15 to 12 nautical miles, something like that, I will just go ahead and turn my time compression off. In order to verify that my time compression is correct, I'll switch to here and start my stopwatch. Notice it's skipping a lot of time, so I'll just bring this down to where it makes sense. So 0, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Looks like time is back to normal. And I'll do a quick check of everything. It's kind of lovely, right? No clouds in the air, though. Can I turn off that stick? Oh, I can. Okay. I've never tried that before. So I'm at 12 miles at 5,000 feet. Let's check to see what our altitude for our destination airport is. 861 feet, so I'll need to be at about 2,000 feet. And I don't know if I'm on IFR or not right now. I mean, I don't need to be. So I'm going to set my altitude to, what is it? 2,000. Before I do that, I'm going to,
120 45220.
there we go. That's interesting. I'm going to reduce my airspeed, reduce my thrust. Alright, here we go.
Descend and maintain 2,600 feet. Expect VOR Demi Bravo
So
approach
I've brought my
heading
airspeed
east.
down. I'm going to drop my gear now.
Circle to land
My
runway
gear, if you
27.
look at this, it
Clear to
tells you
Gulf
that your
Sierra
gear is
Hotel 220.
supposed to lower at a lower airspeed.
220.
I'm going to contact tower. Five miles. Okay, so my trim's coming up a little bit. I need to turn off my autopilot. I'm going to give it my first set of
Traffic
flaps.
November 7 tree 220, 4 miles southeast inbound for Demi Bravo approach. Circle to land runway 27.
There's my airport right there. My runway is that runway right there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly over the airport and just circle the pattern. Okay, let's see what my comms say.
Traffic November 7 tree 220, 3 miles southeast inbound for Demi Bravo approach. Circle to land runway 27.
Yeah, that's pretty simple. I don't know why that's doing it that way.
Traffic November 7 tree 220, 2 miles east inbound for Demi Bravo approach. Circle to land runway 27.
Yeah, that's definitely, but these brackets aren't correct. Uh-oh.
Traffic November 7 tree 220, 2 miles east inbound for Demi Bravo approach. Circle to land runway 27.
There's only one option here. I'm at 3,000. I need to be at 2,000. And that is runway 27. So I'm going to go ahead and join the pattern here. I'm going to lose some altitude. So that means I'm going to drop a little bit of speed. Got my sort of first set of flaps and my landing gears down, so I'm not too worried about getting overspeed as I'm losing altitude. But I do need to watch my altitude, make sure I don't get below 1800. Actually 1900 if we're going to be technical. Okay, so I'm going to do my pattern now. So I'm at 2000 now. That was my audible warning. So I'm going to land runway 27, which is about perpendicular to me now. Give myself a little bit of thrust. I have gained some altitude, so I think I'm going to drop that a little bit turn a little bit. Runway 27. Should be, yep, on the left over there. I am in the pattern. Wow, I didn't even have to look at the runway to do that. That's pretty awesome. Okay, I'm gonna look left. There's my airport. And now I'm in the pattern. I'm at 115. I think when I get over that green field, I'm going to turn left and give myself a little bit longer approach. But 27 is there. So when I turn left, I'll go to the north heading, and then when I turn left again, I'll be able to line up because I don't have my bearings exactly. I already have my first degrees of flaps, so I don't have to worry about doing that on my base leg. I need to get a little more airspeed though. And now I'm pointed straight north. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull it all around to west. Give myself my last set of flaps to about 100%. Oh, see, I'm glad I turned. Didn't wait. Alright, I think I'm in landing configuration. Ready to land. Just keeping myself above the yellow there. I don't want to hit stall speed just yet. Checking my gears down. My flaps are down 100%. I'm good. My airspeed's good. Going to idle. Now I'm just going to try to keep from hitting the ground. Ooh, I don't know why I'm going left right there. Ooh, differential braking. Differential braking. I'm still sort of in the middle. Ooh-wee. I did have a little crosswind there. I felt that. Hmm. Wow, it is really pushing me around. I don't know what all those extra arrows are for, but okay. Parking is right there. I think I'm just going to roll over there. Give myself a little extra bonus.
To all passengers, welcome to Napanee-Mun. Local time is 1:01 p.m. For your safety, the captain has
What an
requested that you
odd
remain seated with your
taxiway.
seatbelt fastened until
I
we
think I'm
come to
just
the
going to go
emergency
this way and
line.
not have to do
Seatbelt
all that
sign is
turning and
invoked.
burning.
Please make sure you take all your belongings with you when you get off. On behalf of the entire company, we would like to thank you for choosing first class wings. We look forward to seeing you again and wish you a pleasant stay in Napanee.
What an odd taxi. I'm not getting close to those buildings though. You got me wrong. Okay. Off, off. Increase my sim rate, then we'll be able to shut down right about now. Alright, let's see how we scored. Oh wow, 81%. Oh, I missed an ATC transition, and speed limit was a little bit high, and my max speed was a little bit high. Let's see how I do. I guess an alpha, I guess. Aviator performance was, I missed a few things. I think I'm going to get dinged on my actual rating. Let's go over. No skip bonus? That's all I get for no skip bonus? I did all that? Okay. I got a little bump in my reputation, I guess. Hey, big jump. XP. I'm up to 442. I think I can buy that last aircraft now. So I'm going to go up there to Stork Aviation. Manage. I've been buying aircraft today as a means of getting a little extra. So I've got 2 aircraft now. I'm going to buy this last used one. That one right there. Let's see what the price is. Make sure, yep. Cheapest insurance possible. And it wants me to put this thing somewheres. So, you know what, I'm gonna put them right here. I'm gonna purchase. I purchased it. Yay, new aircraft. I'm gonna crew on this sucker. Do the manage aircraft thing and give myself some maintenance and eat about half of my pay there. Everything's good. Crew on, crew on, crew on. Now when I want to go buy aircraft, I'm going to have to buy any of these. But there's really no reason to buy all of these extra aircraft. Like, these are super expensive. So if I do this, I'll buy one of these, let it fly, and then I'll just, whenever I feel like making my uh, medium cargo flights to make money, I'll just use one of those. What does this mean? Oh, it's not going to let me. Okay, so looks like the intention is to let you just buy other aircraft that are on the marketplace that maybe you've purchased. I don't know. From developers, that might be. I wonder if used aircraft. Let's see what they've got available for Harrier. Yeah, so these are people flying things. Uh, 2 more 172s, 3 more 172s, 226, 286. But Beechcraft Bonanzas, some rotorcraft. Let's see what the new aircraft look like. It's brand new. Hmm. This Edgeley Optica might be, well, Aero Elvira Optica is an interesting aircraft. I wonder if that'd get you extra points or whatever on these flight seeing, because it's got a lot of glass. Look at that. these flight seeing things. And maybe this one too, because it's got a dome. Or this one. It's got that dome cockpit. Interesting. Those are brand new aircraft. Alright, so we've got 41K now after we purchased that third aircraft for my cargo on cruise on all three of these. So we've been in the air for quite a bit of time, and by 6 p.m. Central, we need to get off so that the calculation for the time of these AI pilots will be proper, and I'll be able to reap the largest rewards of AI flying my aircraft. So that's what that one is, the last one I bought. This is where I am in my jet. So let's see what's opened up for us now. Anything close that's worth doing? Not really. Open this up a little bit. Let's see if maybe there's a 70K mission somewhere close by. And as I pull out and zoom out more and more, the the attraction of landing one of these VIP missions, it's less and less, and that's just because the transport for getting there is going to be really low. Okay, so we've got 67. This one, right? 67, this one. Let's see what else. Yep, 67 I think is the highest paying job now. Which means I need to do a bang up job. Oh, there's 70 right there to Monroeville. That's the one. Thought there was still a 70,000. Oh my gosh. The transfer cost is 7,000. Okay, so I can choose a 67,000 close to me with like maybe a 700, 800, 900 credit transfer, or I can choose a 70,000 job and get, 70,000, but the problem is, the transfer cost. So the transfer cost is too high for this to be of any profit because here I am way over here and this one takes off here. So that's not worth it to pay 7,000 when I could just do this 67, get here and get closer to this. So I think I'll do the 67 as a transition, and then we will see the 1,300 credits. We'll do that one, possibly get over 100,000 depending on how well we fly, as long as we don't miss ATC check-ins, that kind of thing. We'll be good. Let's take a look at where we're going. So we're going to Pittsburgh, Monroeville. Oh, that's the other destination. That's the same destination of that other one. Okay, so this one's at 1,100 feet, and where we're taking off from is 1,100 feet. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. 1,100 feet. How awkward. 1,100 feet. Okay, interesting. So it seems like a pretty straight and level flight. I don't think there's any mountains in between. Doesn't look like it. So yeah, it seems like a good one. Get a little more cash in our pocket. Keeping in mind, of course, on my aircraft, I have the highest level of insurance. Why? Because the game will crash you. So we're at our destination now where we're going to take off. My aircraft says it's good. I need to wash it. Wash it before you use it. It's always a good policy. Our fuel is really close. I think I'm going to change that fuel up to 120. Call that the best thing. It's the best. And we'll fly this bad boy. Hope y'all are having a good day. There's a top pinned comment that has our jam in it. Little different background music if you care to listen to it, rather than having the background music on this goofy flight sim just drone in your ears constantly. I wish they would have a plug-in, or they'd maybe even sell a sponsorship for a plug-in. We're going to skip this, by the way. Sell a sponsorship to some streaming service for music. I think that'd be really cool. And you could turn on the radio and just have it going with from within the sim. And then
Hello,
the
everyone.
streamers
Please give your warmest
would
welcome
not
to
get
Captain
a
Tucker. He's the
copyright hit
captain
on
of
any
all
music they want
passenger
to play.
planes. The service must be impeccable. Our five-star reputation precedes us. Have a great flight.
At least that's the plan anyway. Okay, so here I am getting ready to take off. I have to wait for my PFD and MFD to take their sweet time turning on. So while I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and set my speed bugs up. This is my climb rate and this is my rotate speed. Once that's done, I'll hit the home button and then I'm going to go ahead and choose my fuel. I'll sync my fuel now and confirm it. Click the next button and go to my aircraft loading, which means I get 205 for my weight. And then I'll just check my passengers. To do that, I'll get shift 2 and then turn around. Looks like I have 2 passengers. This guy on the right looks like he's about 145, but I'll be generous, I'll say 155. The guy in the back is about a good 170. Yes, I know. They're not really, they're all the same weight probably. Okay, so I have no co-pilot. I'm just gonna hit enter there. 150 for my passenger left. That's right behind me. Passenger rear. That's what that R is, I believe. We'll do 165. Enter. And we'll just say they had baggage of about 50 pounds. And then we'll look at our flight plan here, which we don't need because it'll show up over here in a minute. Um, and you'll notice, I'm just going to pull this down here. Our our climb gradient is 13 or 1462 feet per minute based on our current weight, fuel, which also contributes to weight, but it's essentially telling us how we can how like the best climb rate. I'm gonna go ahead and hit AT. I'm gonna hit nav. I'm gonna hit FLC, but actually we haven't set an altitude yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Our altitude on our flight plan is 1100, 3000. We're gonna add. It's probably gonna be about 5000, I'm guessing. So we're gonna set our altitude to 5000. So now my altitude is at 5,000, and if I set my FLC, it will kick in, knowing that my altitude is there, and in order to get there, it's going to maintain this airspeed. So what FLC does is flight level control. So it'll take my flight level to 5,000, maintaining this airspeed, which means it will manage all the pitch and thrust and everything else that I need just to maintain that climb rate. Because for this aircraft, 165 is the best climb rate. Uh, 85 is my rotate, so I'll manage that while it manages the other. But that only happens when I turn on my autopilot, which I have not done yet, and I will not until I take off. Okay, everything looks good, so I'm going to go next. Taking off from runway 26. Oops, back. Get my map going, hit full. So it goes to full screen. You'll notice my flight plan is here. So my next route is RINTE, which is... Ooh, am I going to have to take off and then turn right around? Let me see. Yep, looks like I'm gonna take off and turn around. Okay, well that's okay. No biggie. Okay. So go back to my mission steps. I'm gonna announce taxi and take off my parking brake.
India 22 traffic November 73220 is taxiing to runway 26.
I like the new modern dollies that they have here. They're great, aren't they? Straight from Star Wars. I'm gonna go ahead and move a little bit so I can talk to my passengers. Welcome, passengers.
Sir, good afternoon, and welcome aboard this first-class wings flight to Monroeville. I'm your captain and pilot today. Estimated flight time is 46 minutes. We're on time for departure waiting for takeoff clearance. I'll keep you informed during the flight if anything important comes up. Thank you. India 22 traffic November 73220 taking off runway 26 departure to the east. Sir, on behalf of my company, I would like to thank you for flying with us today on this flight to Monroeville. We are prepared for takeoff, so please ensure your seatbelts are correctly fastened and your electronic devices are turned off or in airplane mode. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Thank you.
Oh, so here we go. I'm about to take off. Got a nice call from my wife. And now we're off. Hopefully there's no crosswind, but it feels like there is a little bit to the right. Once I get up to 85, I'm going to go ahead and rotate. Yeah, it feels like I'm being pulled a little bit. There we go. But that's good. I'm glad we're taking off now. Up on the landing gear, up on the flaps. We're going to contact our new
Flight
control
to November
agent.
73220 is type 1 miles west of India 22 1,400 feet. Request flight following.
November 73220 approach. Squawk 0
Okay, I'm
following
going
indicated.
nav. I'm going to go IAS. I'm going to go autopilot, and hopefully the autopilot will just sort of
Squawk 0005
take over.
220.
220 radar contact 1 mile southeast of Kilo Delta 5
I think
Echo.
it's confused
Altitude
about what
request
it should be
departure
doing, though.
altimeter 30.
I'm going to change my altitude to 4,000, though. Acknowledge my handoff.
220 contact Indianapolis
Take
Center
my
at
autopilot
1000
off
feet.
because it's
Cease
confused
flight.
right now.
Good day.
In destination is yeah, it's a good question. I think I'll bring up my
220. Cease
EFB.
flight for 220.
Pittsburgh, Monroe.
Indianapolis Center November
Whoa, a little bit too much.
73220. 4,100 feet.
Wow.
November 73220 Indianapolis Center altimeter 30. 21 radar contact continue.
Looks like Pittsburgh Monroe
Indianapolis Center, November 7, tree 220,
is the
2 miles
destination.
south of India,
What's going on,
TJ,
Glenn?
4,700 foot, request IFR to 4 Golf 0, ready to copy.
Gracious.
November 7, tree 220, cleared to 4 Golf 0 airport as filed. Squawk 0005. 220, read that correct. Radar contact 4,500 feet, altimeter tree 0.
Hmm.
21, turn right heading
Looks
085,
like we are back on
descend to
track.
descent, and maintain 4,000 feet.
Although my
Turn right heading 085, proceed on course descend, and maintain 4,000 feet 220.
there we go. There we are. Cruise status 4,000. Which
Circle
is
out
really
and land.
low for
First, I'd like to welcome you on behalf of First Class Wings on flight GCO 9412. We are
really
approaching
low
you
for
to an
cruise, but whatever.
altitude of 2,800 feet at an airspeed of 250 knots. It's 12:08
Hey, thanks,
p.m.
Glenn.
and are expecting to land in Monroe,
Max
California
aircraft
at
is
3:10 a.m. local time with
wow.
a current temperature of 25 degrees
My
Fahrenheit.
aircraft
Weather
is
cooperates
not
and will remain over
cooperating.
the area as we descend. I'll update you before we reach our destination. Until then, sit
There
back,
we go.
relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight.
4,000. Are we going to get there? Looks like it. All right, good deal. It's only 35 nautical miles to the next. Oh, that's not my destination, though. My destination is shift 2, about an hour away. So what I'll end up doing is just skipping to descent, and that way I won't have to wait so long. Shift 2, take a look around real quick, skip to descent after I pause. I have not crashed yet if I pause first. So I'll pause, do my skip. And if you don't know about it already, there is a top pin comment with our jam in it. Oh, my airspeed's 109. Excellent. That's so cool. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and unskip or
220,
unpause.
cancel IFR. Continue VFR to your destination.
So by looking at my flight plan, I already know that
220, contact Cleveland Center on 128.
128. 45 for 220.
my
Cleveland Center, November 7, tree
target
220 is at 4 Golf
flight
200 feet, descending 4,000 feet.
uh, not flight level. What am I saying? The ground level is at 1100.
Center, altimeter tree 0. 22 radar, contact continue.
So I'll just increase my drag, reduce my airspeed, and get ready to land because I'm only at 4,000 feet,
Cancel IFR at this
which
time.
is great.
220, IFR flight plan is canceled, radar service terminated. Squawk 1200. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved. Good day.
Pardon me. I'm going to reduce my thrust.
4 Golf 0, traffic November 7, tree 220, 5 miles, west 4,000, for inbound to land runway 2 tree.
Take my altitude hold off. Do want to keep my nav going though, but I do want to reduce my altitude a little bit. Let me see what I got myself into here. That looks like there's an airport right there. Okay, I'm going to take autopilot off. That airport is actually right here. I can see it now. So I'm going to go ahead and enter the downwind. I'm not going to do this loop thing over here. I'm just going to go ahead and enter the downwind right here. If I turn a little bit to the left, I can see the airports right there. Yep, right there, yep. Okay, reduce my thrust a little bit. Once I get into the downwind, I'm going to increase my drag. We're still reducing my thrust here because I'm losing altitude pretty fast and I don't want to go over speed. Okay, give myself my first notch of flaps. Increasing my drag, but also increasing my control. Still reducing airspeed. I'm going to go a little bit long here because that looks like a really short runway. Increase my thrust a little bit. Wow, lots of turbulence. This aircraft, by the way, does not turn very quickly. So I just kind of encourage it a little bit without going over 30 degrees of turn. Uh, that final pin is not in the right place. It's going to shift here in a second. There it goes. There we go. My final notch of flaps to go to 100%. I don't know what degree that is, but there is my airplane, or airport. I'm going to announce final now.
500.
I'm going to avoid the yellow just now. This yellow right here is what I'm talking about.
November 73220 is on final runway 23 to land.
Golly, it's turbulent. Looks like the windsock's pointing at me though, so relatively. Ooh, this is not good. Am I going to be able to land this thing without dying? Yes. Barely. What the heck happened there? Wow, that was crazy. I am not going to get a good rating from the client, and my landing gear probably took a beating on that one. Wow. Ooh. Okay, I'm okay though. I didn't die, I guess. I mean, if you want to measure it in success or failure, that's the right binary. Not dying. Good gracious.
Traffic November
I think I'll maximize my
73220
points by
is
going ahead and
clear.
taxiing to parking. Hi there. By the way, passengers, we're here. In case you didn't know.
To Pittsburgh Monroeville. Local time is 12:17 p.m. For your
Sir, I
safety,
thought there was
and
three
as requested, you
passengers.
remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until we come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is
Uh,
turned off. Please make sure you take all your belongings with you when you get off. On behalf
wow.
of the entire company, we would like to thank you for choosing first class wings. We look forward to seeing you again and wish you a pleasant stay in Monroeville.
Already arrived? Time flies. I even wrapped up my work. Will totally recommend this company.
Wow, I don't know why. I nearly crashed. Alright, stopping the engine. Now we're going to wait forever unless I speed up the sim rate, which I've just done, and we'll stop. 165. Condition of the aircraft is bad. I'm probably not even going to get an alpha on this one. Oh boy, not great. I got a little bit of XP though. Looks like the aircraft's probably going to need some maintenance here in a second. My landing gear's probably crashed. 94 is decent. Ouch, got a little ding there. Not happy with that, but man, I'm at level 51. That's great. 128,000. Pretty okay. I'm going to check on my aircraft though. Let's see. Well, everything's still good, I guess. I mean, I hope. Let's see what the checkup says. Landing gear. Yeah. Let's maintain it. Oh, yeah. That's not terrible though. I mean, I can bring that up. That was landing gear that was crunched. Bring my tire back. Bring my landing gear back. Bring my tire back. Alright, I'm happy with that. That's okay. I don't think I want to wash it yet, but why does that say to maintain? Everything's above 50. Let's bring this main landing gear back up. I think maybe it's sensitive. Let's see. Yep, okay, it is good now. Okay. 108. Let's see what we can do about getting another couple of missions in. I think it's drawing new missions in when it does that. I can't be sure though. When it just draws those boxes, those fancy little boxes around them. Let's see what kind of pay we can get now. 66. There's a mission down here that's 70 something. Let me just zoom in on that. Yeah, there it is. So this one's not going to be bad, but if I can get a mission around me, or specifically from the airport I'm at for a good amount of money, then like this one's a good amount of money. Why do this one for 70 when I can do this one for 69 and I won't have to pay a $4,000 transfer fee, right? I'll only pay, 800 or whatever. Or okay, 1100. All right, so I'll accept this one. Yeah, this looks good. Well, let's see what the aircraft looks like now. We're going to wash it before we use it. We're going to bring our fuel up to 120. I don't know why I feel like I have to do that, but that is what it is. Back up. We're going to check our EFB to see what our flight plan looks like. We're starting at 893 there, and we're going to fly up Hura. And this will be relatively, oh, that's going to be a nice landing. I'll be able to see the lake and everything. Well, kind of, if I look to the right. That'll probably be okay. Let's see what this 967. It's just pretty straight and level flight. I'll probably be at 4,000 altitude. I'm guessing. I think I want to take my upper limit for my speed and just bring it down to 140. Alt N to skip. Now we're in. We are in. I have one passenger. It looks like two passengers.
Good morning, it's Nicholas. Just wanted to say hi before you leave to Springwater. Mrs. Grossman will be aboard soon. I know you'll give her a warm welcome. She's close to one of our top clients who booked the flight for her. Have a nice flight.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Gonna announce taxi, take our parking brake off,
Kilo Papa Hotel Delta
and
1
we'll set
November
our
73220 is taxiing to runway
buggers.
15.
We'll go reset fuel, sync it, confirm it, and then next. Loading, pilot's always 205. I don't care what you think he is. He's 205. I don't have a co-pilot, but I have a passenger left. And I'll say he's 175. Passenger rear, she's 120. By the way, I'm just making this up, so I'm not a very good judge of weight or age. And I will get in trouble if I try to guess it. Here we go, there's my flight plan. Taking off runway 15. Everything's good. Change my map over here. Also make it full screen. And I think I'm ready to go. Good deal. There we go. I'm gonna roll a little bit, talk to my passengers, and then we're gonna skip to takeoff because I really think this is gonna be an arduous. Oh no, it's not.
To all
This
passengers on
takeoff is
behalf
like
of
right
the flight
here.
crew, we would like to welcome you on board flight GCO 29 bound for Springwater. Our flight time will be 48 minutes. We expect an on-time departure, and we're currently ready for takeoff. I will keep you informed of any key updates as we go through the flight. Thank you.
Oh, this is not hold short. I thought this was hold short. 0.28 nautical miles, which is not too far. I'll just scoot over there. Little sim speed. Didn't hurt anybody. That was longer than I thought. Man, I'm glad I didn't keep that at normal sim speed. There we go. I'm going to announce takeoff, and then I'm going to tell my
Kilo
passengers I'm
Papa
taking off,
Hotel
and then I'm going to
Delta
take
1
off.
November
While we're
73220
waiting for all that
is
business to
taxiing to
happen, we're going to
runway
change our
15
altitude
starting
bug to
at
4,000. I guessed 5,000 last time, and it uh, didn't pan out for me, so maybe it was 4,000 last time,
To
so
all
maybe it'll
passengers on
be
behalf of the
4,000 this
company, I
time.
would like to thank you for flying with us today on this flight to Springwater. We are prepared for takeoff, so please ensure your seatbelts are correctly fastened and your electronic devices are turned off or in airplane mode. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Thank you.
Set my trim, give myself some thrust. Set my trim to about 7%. Alright, my windsock is facing right at me, so that's good. I'll hit airspeed velocity right now. Yeehaw. Bring up my landing gear. Bring up my flaps. Turn on my autopilot. Can I turn on my autopilot? I sure would like to turn on
Springwater
my autopilot.
73220 is type 1 miles southeast of Kilo Papa Hotel Delta 1,100 feet. Request flight following.
There we go. Now my autopilot's going to take
Springwater
over.
73220 approach. Squawk 1236.
Now all I'm doing is handling the comms. The airplane's
123620.
basically flying itself.
Info radar contact 2 miles southeast of Kilo Papa Hotel, Delta 1,800 feet, altimeter 3026.
So if you'll notice, this is behind me and to the right, but this is not. This is my true nav right here.
Roger 220.
One of these is GPS and the other one is um, nav.
Geforce November 73220, 3 miles northeast of Kilo Papa Hotel Delta 3,100 foot. Request IFR to Charlie November Alpha. Tree ready to copy.
November 73220 is cleared to Charlie November Alpha Tree Airport as filed. Squawk 1236.
November
Now I'm going to wait for all of
73220,
this to
cleared to
stop. What
Charlie
we're going to end
November
up
Alpha
doing
Tree
is,
Airport as filed.
again,
Squawk
waiting
1236.
for all of this nonsense to quit.
220 with
Because if we
Saitek.
don't, then we'll get dinged
Charlie
for
November 20,000
not
feet,
talking to people
descending
like we
altimeter
should.
26 turn
Even if we do skip
107.
past it, we never see it to begin with. It'll ding us.
Maintain 4,000 feet.
So I'm at 4,000. I'm going to accept instructions.
Turn
Now
right
that we're at
onto
cruise, we're going to talk to the
680 at Force
passengers.
Descend.
The passengers will be like, oh, great, yeah.
220.
And then we'll inform.
220, contact Cleveland Center on 134.
Nope, not yet. I have to contact Cleveland Center. Acknowledge.
Going to 134.
Now I have to go
1220.
contact.
Cleveland Center November
Very good.
73220, 4,000 feet.
November 73220, Cleveland Center, altimeter 30. 26 radar contact, continue.
Now, if you want to know where you set that altimeter,
Cleveland Center on 120.
now I gotta go to contact Cleveland Center. Good
Going to
gracious.
120. 6
So
radar
this is my
contact.
altimeter right here. If I wanted to change it, I would do it here, but it's at the
1220,
correct altimeter,
4,000
so
feet.
we're good.
November 73220,
Now we have to talk to this
Cleveland
person for
Center,
a little
altimeter
while.
30. 27 radar contact, continue to YYUD. To all passengers, glad to be your captain today. First, I'd like to welcome everyone on behalf of First Class Wings on flight GCO29. We are currently cruising at an altitude of 2,600 feet at an airspeed of 250 knots. It's 8:23 a.m. and are expecting to land in Springwater approximately at 3:10 a.m. local time. Current temperature of 68 degrees Fahrenheit. If the weather cooperates, we should get a great view of the area as we descend. I'll update you before we reach our destination. Until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight.
I think this is right. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about or say. Nobody else we need to check in with. Alright, so that because that's the truth, I'm gonna go ahead and hit pause. The game has never crashed me on pause when I switch to skip to descent. So let's see what happens. Hopefully it won't be at 51. Ah, it's not terrible. It's at 98. So we're good there. I'm going to unpause.
220, you can cancel IFR. Continue VFR to your destination.
There we go. We're at 4,000.
220, contact Toronto Center on 124. 025. Good day. Going to 124.
I am
025.
losing
Resume.
altitude, and that is good.
Toronto Center November 73220 is passing 4,300 feet, descending 4,000 feet.
My autopilot's still
November
on.
73220, Toronto Center, altimeter 30. 14 radar contact, continue. Toronto Center 220 would like to cancel IFR. 220, IFR flight plan is canceled, radar service terminated. Squawk 1200. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved. Good day.
So the plane is leveling out at 4,000. I'm getting awfully close. I'm going to turn off autopilot.
November 73220, 6 miles
Turn down my airspeed till it gets below 210. Then I'll toggle my landing gear. Now, that'll give me some drag and it will slow me down. Once I get to about 165, I'll give myself my first notch of flaps, giving myself some additional drag, but also additional control. I can see the pattern here, and I think I'm going to enter it on the downwind if I can just maintain a good amount of airspeed. So I'll bring myself down to idle. Yeah, and there's the downwind. Yeah, I think I'll hit that last bit of the downwind bracket there. Hopefully not kill my passenger while I'm doing it. I'm at 164. I'm going to bring down my first notch of flaps. And sort of turn right. Knowing that this aircraft does not turn quickly. My airspeed is good. Now final is already in place, but sometimes it moves around when it draws back in as I make this turn to the base leg. And as I'm making this turn to the base leg, I'm going to hit my last final flaps. My narch, my flaps narch. Give myself a little more thrust so I don't crash. I'm going to swing out a little bit wide just because I can. Oh, my trim is terrible. Golly, my trim is terrible. Why is my trim so terrible? I'm going to swing around. I flew to final. Hopefully I won't alarm my passenger. I think I'm good. My trim's a negative 11 though. I don't like that. Bring it up to about negative 6.
November 73220, is on final runway 25 to land.
Oh, I'm good. As long as I don't get some crazy crosswind. Oh, I do have crazy crosswind. So I'm going to lean into my crosswind a little bit here. I think I'll be okay. Going to idle. Why are there deer over here? What the heck is that? There's deer. Or something. What are those, sheep? Dogs? Heck, I don't know. Hold short's behind me. At least I didn't get a runway incursion. Wheel off the runway or whatever. I was sure I was going to get that. Look at this little narrow runway. The brakes on this thing are amazing. That's the first time I've ever seen wildlife in this game. Did they really put wildlife in this game? Okay. Taxi to parking.
November Alpha Tree Traffic November 73220.
Oh, I was just right there. That's crazy. They've got wildlife in this game. I had no idea. Passengers, hello.
To all passengers, welcome to Barry Air Park. Local time is 8:30, 1 a.m. For your safety, the captain has requested that you remain seated with your
I always
seatbelt
talk about
fastened
myself in
until
the
the
third
airplane
person.
complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Please
Your
make sure to
captain
seat
has
all your
requested
belongings
that
before
you.
you get off. On behalf of the entire company, we would like to thank you for choosing first class wings. We look forward to seeing you again and wish you a pleasant stay in Springwater.
Glad we've arrived. I even managed to catch some shut-eye, and I'm not usually fan of flying.
Engine shutdown, increase sim rate. So I shut down a little bit quicker. Actually, a lot quicker. And we're good. Look at that rating. I'm going to get an S tier. Look at that. Yes. What a boost. That's amazing. A whole lot better than my last flight. Pretty awesome. I should get paid a pretty penny for this one. Yep. Bigger boost than I lost from last time. That's good. About half of my XP to my next level. Everything went really well on that flight. Got 201 now. I need probably another 20 of those flights in order to get to the place where I can get a, look at that, for all companies. Let's do the last 7 days now. So it looks like I'm losing money here, but I'm really not. I have assets. So all companies, Stork Aviation has assets. This purple is assets purchases. And then Goofball Charters is funding all of the asset purchases. So I've got a purchase. It's actually a sale, isn't it? Profit. I've got rewards here. I don't know why this should be profit, shouldn't it? Or no, that's what this line is. This should be a sale. Like I'm getting money here. So I got 201. What should I do with this? Keep it? I think so. Oh, let me check on these other aircraft. So in Stork, I've got these three and my crew's on. So what I'm doing now is just burning daylight until probably about 6. That way the AI can pick up that time and use it to earn money. All three of those aircraft that you just saw were essentially, they're just sitting there. I'm not flying with them. So I'm keeping this one jet to fly with. Once I earn about 15 or 1.5 million. Oh man, look at this. There's no VIP missions here. Son of a biscuit. What is this one? 64. That's pretty decent. But what I was saying was I'll earn about 1.5 million, actually 1.75 million. Once I do that, I'll purchase a. I'll abandon these VIP missions, and then I'll purchase a C208, Cessna 208B, which will essentially be my go-to earnings aircraft that I'll just fly in, or maybe a Pilatus PC-12. But that takes a cool 5 million to do, and I'm not in the mood for doing that. You have to buy those brand new. So this is 64. I think I'll go ahead and fly this because it's got the shortest distance. 2630. I mean, the transfer cost is enormous. So I'll just get that. I'll transfer it. I'll manage it. Wash it before you use it. Get my payload, my fuel. So this is minimum fuel for the payload. That's maximum payload, so I'll just put that right there. I'll pay that right there. Go back. Check my EFB to see what my flight plan looks like. So Greenville Municipal. Is it 1189 feet? And Valley Spring Farm is at 631, so we're going to go down in altitude. We'll go ahead and fly that. It's pretty good. Come on, charter service. There we go. Oh, look at that. That's the first time I've ever seen that. That's a King Air right there. It looks like it's already it was turned on, but it's not turned on anymore. Okay. Skip it, skip it. I don't feel like running around and picking stuff. Oh, it looks like it's off, but it's not.
Good morning, pilot. You guessed today is
Ooh,
Max's birthday.
that was,
So to her birthday,
ooh,
we're
that's
throwing a
crazy.
top class
Okay, here
birthday
we
party
go.
for her. Please give her your warmest welcome on behalf of the
So to
company.
prepare these
Board
aircraft,
flight captain.
there's a few things you need to do. You need to check your speed bugs. So turn that on. Turn that on. That gives you your climb and your rotate speed. And then I'm going to go back home that way. I'm going to give myself my initial fuel. So I don't know why this doesn't do it automatically, but don't get me started. Aircraft loading. I got a pilot here that's 205 pounds. Let's see, who do I have in the aircraft right now? Shift 2. I'm going to turn around and look. I've got 3 folks. Oops, take that off. Hello. So I'm going to call her 140, call her 125, and I'll call him, I don't know. I don't know what to call him. So I'm going to go ahead and enter 1. Actually, I'm going to go backspace. I don't have a co-pilot, so I'm just going to hit enter here. This passenger is the middle passenger, essentially. So we're going to say that's 140 plus, let's just call it 280. See how that shifted our balance right there? We'll have passenger rear be 145, just call it that, and then our baggage is 50. See, that shifts this around, this calculation. Now let me show you what it does. We'll get next. We'll do shift 2 and it'll bring us over here. So this calculates our balance and our max weight. So we're pretty good right here. As the fuel burns, this diamond shape will go down this line and we'll still be okay. These are all of the indicators, like my total trip time left, my trip time to land, and my trip ETA to my next leg, I think is what that is. But this is going to calculate, this weight and balance thing is going to calculate our climb gradient at feet per minute, which allows us to do this autopilot. So we're going to go ahead and turn on nav. Flight level control is not going to be a thing, but we're going to go ahead and change our altitude setting up here to 5,000, I'm guessing is where it's going to put us. Yeah, so it's just a guess. I don't know if it's going to put us at that or not, but given the experience, I'm guessing that's what it's going to do. What is this cabin LFE not set? I'm just going to go ahead and hit next. Next. Okay, home. We're going to change this to our nav. We're going to also make this full screen. This is also our active flight plan. Cabin LFE. I am not familiar with what that is. This is our flight plan. So purple is our next destination, our next leg. I'm hoping that's going to go away because I don't know what that is. Now that I have altitude set, I can set flight level control. And when I take off, I'll just hit autopilot and it'll just take over. Okay, shift 3 will bring us back to regular view. I'm going to announce taxi and take off my parking brake.
For Golf 1, traffic November 73220 is taxiing to runway 15.
My takeoff pitch needs to be at 6. Hold short is really close. Alright, let's go. By the way, vehicles don't matter, so don't worry.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
I'm smashing all of these tail wheel or tail
Hereford. I'm your captain and pilot
pieces
today. Estimated flight
on these
time is
aircraft.
44 minutes. We're on time for departure waiting for takeoff clearance. I'll keep you informed during the flight if anything important comes up.
The sim doesn't ding you, but by God, those trees, if you get close to those trees, you better be careful. We're going to announce takeoff.
For Golf 1,
We're going to
traffic
tell our
November
clients we're taking off.
73220 taking
Looks
all
like I'm going to have to
runway
turn left, go to the end of the
15
runway, and turn
left.
around to take off.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my company, I would like to thank you
This
for
is good.
flying with us today on this flight to Hereford. We are prepared for takeoff, so please ensure your seatbelts are properly fastened and your electronic devices are turned off
Yeah,
or in
so
airplane mode.
fair warning, don't
Smart
get close
device
to those
and enjoy the
trees.
flight. Thank you.
I'm on the runway, so I think we can go over 20 if it. I'm about to find out, aren't I? Yep, I'm over. I'm at 30 now. Look at that. 30 knots. Slow down a little bit. By the way, this aircraft turns on a stinking dime. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so now I can take off. Got my trim set, got everything good. Oh dear, here we go. I mean, I know what I'm doing. For some reason, it's pulling me to the right. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Good gracious, let's get off the ground. Lord almighty. Ah, it set me at 4,000. Awesome. Now I don't have to climb as far. Set my altitude at 4,000. Oops. And then let the autopilot take over.
Youngstown approach November 73220 is type 1
I
mile
think once I get
southeast of
over
Fort Golf
1,000 feet
1,600 feet. Request flight following.
above ground level.
220 Youngstown approach. Squawk
Here we
4260.
go. That ought to let me take it off. There we go. Now nav is taken over. And all I need to do is squawk and talk
Squawk 426
and
to
wait for it to let
220.
me skip to the next.
220 radar contact. 2 miles
Now you might be
northwest of
wondering,
Youngstown.
why in the world is this aircraft turning past the
19er.
course? Well, this is a course. This is the actual course. So that's what we're doing.
20, did you hear my last transmission?
Yes, I heard it.
Roger 220.
So we're climbing at best possible speed. Once we get to cruise, then we
Youngstown
will
approach November 73220 3 miles east of Fort Golf 1, 2,500
probably
feet.
speed up. We'll
Request
just
flight
level off and
following.
speed up to top speed.
Fife, ready to copy.
November 73220
all of this talkie-talkie.
November 7 Tree 220 cleared to Papa Alpha Tree Fife Airport as filed. Squawk 4262.
So no, once I catch up, well, it looks like I am on nav now, so
220 read
we're
back.
good.
Radar, contact 3,000 feet, altimeter tree 0. 18, turn left heading 090, proceed on
Alright,
runway
so I noticed this
maintain
3018 is different than this. So I'll change this to 3018. Wrong way. 18. Oops.
220, please acknowledge.
There we go.
Turn left heading 090, proceed on course climb,
He's impatient, isn't he?
4,000 feet 220.
220, contact Cleveland Center on 120.
Now I get another
Flight
handoff.
safe. Good day.
Go ahead and acknowledge.
120. 775 220. Cleveland Center November 7 Tree 220 is passing 3,600 feet, climbing 4,000 feet.
November 7 Tree 220 Cleveland Center altimeter tree 0. 17 radar contact continue to Foxtrot Kilo Lima.
Okay, so now I can skip. I'm going to cruise. Inform my passengers to cruise, and then we'll just skip to
Ladies
descent.
and gentlemen, glad to be your captain today. First, I'd like to welcome everyone on behalf of First Class Wings on flight GCO 1611. We are currently cruising at an altitude of 2,500 feet at an airspeed of 150 knots. It's 10:59 a.m. and are expecting to land in Hereford approximately at 3:10 a.m. local time. Current temperature of 20 degrees Fahrenheit. If the weather cooperates, we should get a great view of the area as we descend. I'll update you before we reach our destination. Until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight.
220 contact Cleveland Center on 134.
Oh,
475. Good day.
134
I
475
wonder what that was all
220.
about.
Cleveland Center November 7 Tree 220 4,000 feet.
November 7 Tree 220, Cleveland Center, altimeter tree 0. 18, radar contact, continue to Foxtrot Kilo Lima.
Huh. Am I landing all of a sudden? What's going on here? Let me see what well, I'll just check my computer, my MDF. My ENR is not set. That's what the problem is. Okay, so if I do it this way, then I'll just go that, avionics and see what happens. Nothing. Okay, I expected this to change. But alright, so we'll do this. Oh, what is this bracket on the ground thing going on over here? This is only the first leg, for Pete's sake. Alright, whatever. I know I'm not crazy much. I'm gonna go ahead and skip to descent now that we're straight and level. Everything's been announced. All the radio handoffs have been handed off. I'm gonna pause here because I've never crashed on a pause. This flight sim will crash you when you make that skip to descent leg a reality. So just skip to descent on a pause, and that's never crashed me this way. Cross your fingers. This sim is crazy.
500.
See what I mean? What the heck is this? I'm at 1,300 feet, and there's stuff in front of me. This is why the sim crashes. I would have crashed here. Now what do I do? Wow, I'm glad I had it paused because I definitely would have crashed right there. Look at that. That's so unfair. I need to be at 4,000 feet. Why I'm at 1,300 feet? I need to be at 4,000 feet. I would not have crashed had this thing not put me down here. Look at this. It's a lovely view, mind you. I mean, these trees are drawn pretty well and everything, but I'm about to crash. Oh, look at the camera flare right there. You see it? That's camera flare they put into the sim, into the render of the sim. That's crazy. It's pretty cool. I like that. Huh. Okay, well, in that case, I wish I had a tool. There is a tool, by the way, that will change your flight level if you're coming off of this pause and it's put you in a weird place. There is actually a tool that will do that. So for some reason, it's got me at 1300. I'm about to crash. There's really no way of changing it. Maybe I can change. That thing simmed me a little bit. How do I change this? These are my controls, VR, assistances. I mean, there's. I don't know what to do here. I mean, huh, my aircraft is already. I get it's right there. I'm just gonna restart the mission. God, you gotta be kidding me. That's ridiculous. Okay, so if you're just joining, the story is this. The the flight was going great until I went to skip. And I think I've now discovered why a lot of people are getting their crashes on the skip to descent leg of their trips in career mode because, check this out, I skipped to descent, but I put it on pause first because I've never crashed on a pause, so that just kind of makes sense. So here I am. I came back from skip to descent at 1,300 feet when I actually started my skip to descent at 4,000 feet. So here I am about to run into this lovely mountain right here. Yep. So it put me down at 1,300 feet and on a death trajectory. So I really have no choice except to restart the mission. Ah, boy. Otherwise, I would have crashed. There is a tool out there that can change the altitude, but I don't have that tool, so you'll be able to change literally everything. But it's also a tool that can be used to cheat on these missions because all you do is you get in the airplane, you start your mission off, but you really never take off. You just get at the end of the runway, and then you put yourself on the other runway and you're done. Okay, so I'm gonna skip this part. This is the beginning of the mission again, y'all. So be patient with me. I know that the cruise altitude is at 4,000 feet though, so that's good.
Good morning, pilot. You guessed today is Madam Olson, who's on the go to Hereford. She's close to one of our top clients who booked a flight for her.
Okay, so I'm gonna get back into the cockpit
Please
here.
give her your warmest welcome on behalf of the company. Have a good flight, Captain.
Hi. Don't mind me if I reach around you there, big boy. Okay, so what do I got here? Let me see my passengers, because I have forgotten who they are. This is booting up still, by the way. This is why you see the weird stuff. Okay, so about 130 or 120 each, so 240 in the middle, and my co-pilot is going to be about 165. So while this is booting up and getting ready, put on my speed bugs once again. I'll do this for every flight. Sync my fuel. Set my load. 205, enter. My co-pilot 165, enter. My middle passengers, call them 240, so 120 each. And then they brought some baggage, 75 pounds of baggage. They're so weighty. Okay, next. This is my flight plan, which is not going to matter a whole lot because my flight plan is going to show up beneath my nav here. And then I'm going to expand this to full screen. I think we're ready.
For Golf 1, traffic November 73220 is taxiing to runway 15.
And I don't care to taxi, so I'm going to skip to takeoff. I'm going to announce my takeoff, take
For
off
Golf
my
1,
parking
traffic
brake.
November 73220 taking off runway 15, departing straight out. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my company, I would like to thank you for flying with us today on this flight to Hereford. We are prepared for takeoff, so please ensure your seatbelts are
I'm going to
correctly
change my
fastened
altitude
and
while
your
I'm
electronic devices are turned off
cruising down
or in
there
airplane mode.
to
Mr.
4,000 since it's
Best
going to be
regards
at
and enjoy your
4,000.
flight. Thank you.
Click my nav, click my IAS, get ready for autopilot. Once I taxi out here to the end, I'll then be able to turn around and hopefully take off without hurting anybody. By the way, these things turn around really well on a dime. There we go. Now we're lined up already. Yes, there we go. Right there. Perfect. I'm actually gonna. Last time I tried to take off, it didn't work out. So I've got full power on. AT toga on. Take off and go around. And we're gonna take off like that. My trim is at 30% though. Oh Lord Almighty, help me. 30. It should be at 6. I don't know why it's at 30. Oh dear. Rotate. Yes. Uh, did my sim just crash? I think it's about to. Good thing I'm at a takeoff attitude. Yep, it crashed. Well, I think that means this is the end of the stream, folks. Thanks for joining, and I appreciate you sticking with me as long as you have. I'm going to call it a day. And you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see how this turns out on the AI making us money with those three new aircraft, those little aircraft. Hopefully, it'll make us more money than 10K net, right? And I guess I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.